and how they contribute or represent their community. This week I've got Shabazz, who is a pro boxer.
Hello there, guys.
He's actually got a fight coming up, which is going to be really exciting, which is on the 28th.
20th of September at York Hall.
Well, we're going to jump in and we're just going to get started. So it's Shabazz, how are you now?
I'm great. I'm in great condition for my fight. I've trained really hard. Still got a few weeks left. Just been doing some tests, but we're ready.
Are you nervous?
Wouldn't say nervous, I'm more excited getting into that relaxing stage in my camp now, so I'm just ready to fight, really.
We were talking earlier about your coach and how much of an impact he's put on you. Do you want to talk on that a little bit?
I met Xavier, I would say probably about just over a year ago. I recently left a coach called Alec Wilkie, and it's like God put me and Xavier Miller together because I was looking to join a guy down at McWell's gym, but he went on holiday, and prior to that, me and Xavier Miller were just working together, and somehow we just clicked, and now we're doing that good work, and we're putting that work in. So yeah, man, he's definitely a good guy, knows his boxing, looks after his boxers, and yeah, man, he's made me improve leaps and bounds, so I can't wait to just get out there and perform.
So what's your stats now, actually?
I'm currently 3-0 as a professional. I've had 120 amateur fights.
Wow, that's impressive.
For Finchley, Repton. I started off at Haringey and Dell Youth. Those are the clubs I boxed at before. So.
How was you as an amateur boxer?
How was I as an amateur boxer? I was a good amateur boxer. I always had a pro style to me. I had a lot of fights. I boxed a lot of GB boxes as well. I did fairly good as an amateur, but as a pro, I'm looking to take on the challenges and rise to the occasion and go to the top, man. That's what it's all about.
So what made you want to go pro?
I boxed for a long time, so it was only right. It was sort of like, you've got to live this one through. You've been boxing for all these years, can't let it go to waste. Boxing sort of gave me that foundation, to work with children, work with people in the community, stuff like that. So
what are you doing exactly right now for the community?
For the community? Well, currently right now I work with children that are troubled in my neighbourhood, like people with anger problems, people that have been getting kicked out of school, etc. Most of them just don't have any direction.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to implement on them, give them direction, give them confidence, give them a meaning of where to go in life and what to do. So that's really what my purpose is with the youth of today. Okay. Currently I work with a young man called JJ. He boxes at the Repton Club now where I used to box at.
Yeah.
He's an English champion now and he's in good hands, and I've been a part of that. I wouldn't say I've trained him as such, but I've mentored him and given him confidence, so I'm happy that I can do that.
I'm glad you just spoke about JJ because I just wanted to touch back on, if we rewind back to you as a child, what made you want to be a boxer?
What made me want to be a boxer? First, it started off with me wanting to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Everyone having that WWF effect. Everyone wants to be The Rock, Stone Cold.
I remember those days.
So it started off like that.
Yeah.
I started boxing when I was 9, but never ever really took it seriously. And I got kicked out of school in year 7, and then I started taking boxing really seriously. I got to box abroad. I boxed in Sweden, Ireland, Amsterdam before, places like Spain as well. So I've had the chance to sort of experience different countries due to boxing as well. So it's helped me travel as well. So when I started boxing, it was just something special, really. And I've always had a fight in me. I've always been a person that's always been in fights in school. So I pretty much say it's from that, really. But I've used it in a positive light to turn my life around.
Yeah. So at what point did you wake up and say, I want to be a pro boxer?
Well, being a kid, obviously you want to be ambitious, you want to follow it all the way through. Boxing is a very hard sport. It's not for everyone, it's not a given either. I mean, it's got to be something within you that makes you want to get up in the morning, makes you want to run, makes you want to box. So for me, I just love being in the ring. I love that thrill of being in danger and being able to overcome it. So yeah.
So if you just think about your last fight, for example, and obviously the weeks coming up to the actual fight. Like, what's going through your mind? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Do you get butterflies in your stomach? Like,
all right.
what is your resume basically? What do you do leading up the week leading up to your big fight?
All right, week leading up to a fight, generally, it could be crazy, but I like to be relaxed. I don't really have nerves because I've been in the ring over 100 times.
Yeah.
I've sparred with different people, and obviously, you know, sometimes I do get a bit of nerves before the fight starts, maybe 10, 15 minutes before the fight starts, but they go really quickly. Mostly I just want to be relaxed. Like what we was talking about earlier on, the music side of things, I like to listen to slow music to get me in the mode, get me relaxed, get me ready really, just calm me down. It just really depends on the atmosphere on the night. It depends on the people that are around me and what the vibe is in the changing room. Sometimes it's more of a hyperactive vibe.
Yeah.
So sometimes I go off that and I feed off that energy. And sometimes it's okay, everyone else is hype around me, but I'm gonna just remain focused and remain calm, cool and collected. And that's mostly what I want to go out there and do, and just be calm, cool and collected and win the fight with pure boxing skills.
Do you ever go in the ring and your mind just go completely blank?
Because
that happens in any sort of test in life, that you can literally be preparing for weeks and then literally once it's the time, you just literally go mind blank.
That has happened before, but the way I go into a fight, I don't go into a fight with my mind completely blank. I go into a fight with like a sort of clean slate, because I want to have that notion of I'm not overlooking anyone, I'm not underestimating anyone. It's a clean slate. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to perform well, and as the fight goes on, we'll start building into a rhythm, we'll start building into things. So, like I said, I've got a very good coach, and he knows me as a boxer, he knows what I like to do, he knows how I start, how I finish. So, it's very good. Like, I'm feeling very good.
What type of boxer are you?
I'm a pure boxer.
Elaborate on that, because a pure boxer could be anything really.
A pure boxer is someone who is very skill based, very calculated, doesn't waste anything. Everything's done for a purpose and a meaning. So let's just say skillful. Like Floyd's skillful. Everything he does is calculated. I like to put myself along them lines. There, I'm not aggressive. I can be aggressive because in boxing it's give and take. You have to switch it up sometimes. I can be aggressive, but my whole notion of boxing is to be a pure boxer and use my skills and use my attributes and the things that have been shown in the gym. So yeah, that's mostly what I base it off. Yeah.
Do you I know you spoke about Floyd. Floyd.
Yeah.
I know you spoke about Floyd Mayweather just literally a second ago. Is he your hero, or is he someone that you look up to? Is he someone that you want to be at that level once you obviously have age and experience? Is that?
We all want to be like Floyd Mayweather. No, there's a few boxers that I watch. I mean, like I said, you learn off different fighters. You pick up different things from different fighters. You don't just always learn off one person. I mean, I like to watch Roy Jones. I like to watch James Toney. I like to watch Andre Ward. And you watch different fighters for different things. Like you might like the way someone jabs. Like for instance, I like the way Marcos Maidana jabs. He isn't the most greatest looking fighter to watch, but he's good at certain things, and you pick things out and you build yourself up into your own boxer, your own fighter, and you learn off other fighters that way.
All right, I'm just going to put you on the spot here. Name your top 5 boxers of all time. Not even active right now, of all time.
Muhammad Ali.
Okay, go on.
Roy Jones, James Toney, Terence Crawford, and Floyd Mayweather. Was that 5?
I feel like that was 5 or 6.
Yeah, maybe
it might have been 6.
Might have been 6.
What was I going to ask? I know you're a father of one. You've got a little boy. Do you picture him going through the same journey as you? Do you want him to be, as you already had the boxing experience, do you want your son to be a boxer as well?
No. Reason why I say no is because boxing is very, very taxing and very, very hard sport. I know myself as I'm going through it. And as a father, because I grew up without a father, and boxing was sort of like my father, gave me discipline, not just obviously inside the ring and taught me new skills inside the ring, but also molded me into a young man that I am today. But as a father, I don't feel my son needs that. I think he wants me to be a father figure and be a dad, not a coach. Because if he was a boxer, or suddenly he's decided he wanted to be a fighter, then I'll be on him every day, pushing him, and I don't think he would want that. As for me being a father, because he'll have to be better than me, he'll have to do everything I did, but 3 times, 4 times and over. So I don't think I would want him to box because it's very, very hard. It's very, very
taxing. Does he actually have the passion for it?
At the moment, no.
And you seem very happy about that.
No, I'm very happy because it's just it just saves the worry. I mean, like, I would say I partially worry about myself.
Yeah.
I worry about my others than myself. So my son, I'll be scared because, like I said, a lot of fathers push their children into things that they're not really good at, or because they did it. You know, for instance, I've seen fathers push their sons and daughters into certain sports that they're not really good at, and it's not because, you know, for instance, like, let's say your daughter's not athletic or whatever. It's just because they thought that their daughter can do it or their son can do it, or and they're not cut from the same cloth. And it's sometimes that could make you, I can't say not a bad parent, but it sort of draws you two away from each other. If that makes sense. Like, you two are not really close. It's like, no, you've got to do this. You've got to do this.
It's no longer son and dad. It becomes coach and son. Do you know what I mean?
Dad.
Do you know what I mean? And it's literally non-stop, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's non-stop. So, I get it. It's not something I would put my son through, no. Unless he really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So let's talk about this fight coming up. So we know it's on the 28th of September at York Hall. Like, what are you expecting out of this fight tonight, next week, or 2 weeks' time, rather?
What am I expecting? I'm expecting anything, to be honest with you. That's what I train for. I train for anything. I leave no stone unturned. As I said, I've got the best coach in the business, Xavier Miller.
How is he as a coach? Is he pushy? Is he a bit too strict on you? Like, how is he?
He's calculated, man. He's a very calculated man. He knows what he's doing in the sport. He pushes you. Every coach does. He pushes you, but he's very calculated. He knows what boxers need to do to win fights, and he does everything correct, man. As far as I'm concerned. I mean, the other day, one of my stablemates won an English title. His name's Kay Prosper.
I hope to have him on the show one day. Okay.
We'll definitely get him on there. But he's pushed him to a title, and he's done it in a very tactical way, and he knows what type of boxer I am. He understands me as a boxer. He understands the way I move and what the things I do in the ring. So he, we gel on that sense. So I'm comfortable with him.
So you guys, how did you guys even get to meet each other? Because I know it wasn't just. Do you know what I mean?
It wasn't the bat. I wasn't in search. I wasn't actually looking in that direction. Because mostly when you hear about boxing and you hear about boxers, most of the boxers and boxing, like all the good boxers, are from East London or from South London. So you go to all them clubs thinking, this is where all the boxing, this is where all the fighters are at. But like I said, how we met, it was from one of my stablemates called Robbie Chapman. He asked me to come down and spar, and he'd been asking me to come down and spar with him for a while, but I never ever went down because I was with another coach called Alec Wilkie, and obviously when you're a pro, you can't just go down to other gyms without notifying your coach. So. At that moment in time, I was a free agent, and I was able to go down, and I sparred. And since I went down there, Xavier was always just looking out for me, sending me messages. Are you alright? Can you spar today? Like, telling me, you could make something of your career. Basically giving me confidence in the right places at the right time. Saying the right things, and he could understand the way I was boxing. Certain things he would say to me, he was like, I see what you're trying to do, but you need to do it properly. And this is what I can teach you how to do it properly. I can see your methods of what you're trying to do, but this is where you've got to do them. And I thought, do you know what? I like this guy, and he's always sort of checking to see if I'm okay. So that's how me and him got together like that. So, like I said, it's like God put us together. Like, I was meant to go with someone else, but that person went on holiday, and everything happens for a reason. So I'm happy.
So, okay, if you win on the 28th, what does that mean for you?
Well, when I win, I say when I win, that elevates me to the next level. You've got to have confidence. That elevates me to the next level. That puts me in line for titles. It's obviously a step-up fight. It's my first 50-50, so I'm happy about that. Not a lot of fighters take this chance, or this opportunity, I should say, early in this career. They wait they wait maybe 7 fights in before they start doing stuff like this. But I'm taking it now because I feel like obviously I need to, and I want to. I want to step up. I want harder fights. I want a challenge. I don't want some of these fighters that you pay to come and box you, just to have an easy fight and just get a W. You want to have a meaningful fight where when you win, you're pushing on to something bigger and better.
Yeah.
And Xavier and my promoter, Steve Goodwin, have put it together for me, so I can't thank him enough. And on the 28th, we'll do the business.
That sounds amazing. I can't wait. I'm going to be there, by the way.
Yeah.
So that would be great. Cool. What was my last thing I was going to ask you?
I have no idea.
I saw you on the Tell Your Story. Is it Tell Your Story?
Watch Your Story.
Watch Your Story. How did it feel sitting next to two other boxers who is on such a high level compared to you at this moment?
This moment in time, it felt great. It felt like I should be there. I felt like finally I'm where I should be. Usually, because I've done a few lines of work, I would say, just a few odd jobs here and there where I'm setting up events. Like for instance boxing or like a press conference, and I've seen lots and lots of boxers be on the press conference, and I'm like, I'm not on it. I'm not on it. I'm just setting it up. The boxers know who I am, but I'm not on the show. So for once, it felt great to be a part of it. It felt great to be there and be one of the main. Especially close the show as well. Close the show with Bradley Skeet and Chris Congo, so it was amazing. I was nervous though because it was live and I had an audience, but it was great.
And not only that, I can imagine it just shows you your true potential, or shows you what everyone thinks of your true potential. Because if they're putting you next to two pro boxers on that level, it clearly shows that that's their potential, what their thoughts are for you. Yeah,
definitely. I want to be obviously regarded as a boxer. That obviously people know me as Chavez. I want to be known as Chavez the boxer. Everyone knows that I'm a boxer, so it's about the exposure and getting yourself out there. And when you're with Bradley Skeet and Chris Congo, and they're sat next to you and you're doing an interview with them live, it's brilliant. It doesn't get any better than that. So do you want to tell everyone about your event and where they can find tickets, your social medias? Okay, I'll give them that. I'll be fighting on the 20th of September at York Hall. I'll be fighting Justin Benzie. For tickets, DM me on Instagram, which would be Julio_Chavez, and on Facebook it'd be Chavez Julio Boxer Campbell.
And for those that don't know, you can find me via TiaLove_TV on Instagram. If you'd like to be on the show, pop me a message, or if you would like to gain tickets, let me know and I can hook you up. Alright, that's all I've got time for today. Tune in for next week Wednesday. I've got another guest coming, and speak to you guys soon.